so pretty. Do I have shadow on me? Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing the eyeshadow palette tag that was created by Samantha March and Allie Glines. I will list their channels down below. And then I saw my friend JenPhelpsBeauty do this video. If you don't already follow Jen, love her dearly. She is so sweet. She is a friend of mine. I love her channel. She does amazing videos. I mean, all different kinds. She's like the eyeshadow palette comparison queen. She's amazing. So I will list her channel down below. Loved watching her video, and she loves eyeshadow palettes and I love eyeshadow palettes, so I really wanted to do this video. So I've gathered together all the different palettes to answer the questions. There's some really fun ones here. I cheated on one question. I've got couple of palettes for that one, but that's okay. We got some fun palettes to talk about, so let's get to it. Okay, so first question is show your newest palette. So that would be the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette. I had been eyeing this for a while, so I finally ordered it. I love these little mini palettes from Natasha Denona. I really do enjoy her formula. It's just very pricey, so that's why I always get the little minis, because y'all know I love mini makeup. It's so cute. It's perfect for travel. I really do like her formula. It's just wowza. It's expansive. So I always get the little minis. They're like $25 and still a lot of product. Really a great little palette. This one is very warm and sunsetty. The name of it totally matches. I mean, look at that. Her metallic-y shades are wow. So eye-catching and beautiful. Really enjoy her formula, but that's why I go with the minis, because they're cheaper. Okay, I guess I cheated on this question too, because I have two to answer this question. Show your oldest palette. So I think technically my oldest palette is the original Naked palette. I've hung on to it because it's just nostalgic. I love this palette. When they discontinued it, I did order a new one because it went on sale, so I have a newer version of it that I actually use on my eyes. But this one I just hang on to because it was really my first one of my first high-end palettes, and it was really back at the beginning of the YouTube days, and it's just like the OG, great old palette that's so good. I was really sad when they discontinued it. I like the Naked Reloaded, but this one just, I don't know. It's hard to beat this one. It's bronzy and beautiful and such a great palette. So still hang on to that one. This one I don't think is as old, but do y'all remember this one? I don't hang on to that much older makeup for just nostalgia reasons, but just a couple things I hang on to, and this is one that I just can't ever part with. It's a Too Faced Pretty Rebel palette. I think because I can remember standing in Ulta for, no joke, probably an hour trying to decide if I should get this palette. I don't know why it was such a huge decision. Timothy was with me and he was like, just get the palette. Let's leave. But I did finally get it and I just ended up loving it. It's very kind of rock star and just fun. I mean, there's a fun bright pink in here. I always loved this golden shade. Just beautiful. I mean, it still has pigmentation years later, but probably wouldn't put this on my eyes, but look how pretty. Oh my gosh. It's just a fun palette. I love the packaging to it. I love that it's kind of pink and rocker and it looks like it's got the different pieces across it. It's just a fun palette. Always been one of my favorites. Next question, show your most expensive palette. And it would have to be my Tom Ford Eye Color Quad in Titanium Smoke. So Timothy got this for me one Valentine's. We'd gone together makeup shopping. I honestly don't know why I picked out this color because I really don't wear grays and silvers and blacks like hardly ever. I think I thought I would get it and then it would be kind of my special, wear it to a special occasion sort of palette. And I think, I mean, honestly, this is so sad, but I think I've worn it once. So, because like I said, I really don't wear these colors. So, poor decision. Wrong color to get, because there really are some very pretty other options in the Tom Ford quads. This is expensive though. So there are the swatches right there. I think I just thought I'll have it for that special eye look, like a really dark, you know, sparkly, smoky eye, but I don't know, but it's so expensive. Show your most affordable palette, and it would be the little e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow palettes. I have several of them. I think I have most every one of them now at this point because I love these. They are amazing. They're $3. The quality is incredible. I love how cute and tiny they are. This one's probably my favorite. This is Cream and Sugar, and this is just an everyday amazing palette. I mean, the metallic-y shades catch the light so well. The matte shades are super blendable and easy to work with, and $3. So awesome. You cannot beat the quality for the price. I mean, this really, honestly, I feel like marvels the Natasha Denona formula, and it's $3. It's awesome. Then show your everyday palette. I would say this is my current favorite everyday palette. This is the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes complexion inspired eyeshadow palette. I remember when they first sent this to me and I was like, oh my goodness, this is the perfect, just, what's the question? Everyday palette, because it's so genius that it has a matte and a metallic-y shade for each kind of color. And you've got kind of the different range of kind of lighter shades, mid-tones, and then darker. I would maybe like one more dark shade out here, but man, the matte shades are so blendable. The metallic-y shades are so good and metallic-y. Let me swatch this one for you. There's a bug in here. There's a fly flying around with us. He wants to talk about eyeshadows too, apparently, because he's joining us right now. This is such a good formula. Oh my gosh. And this is just the kind, oh, leftover shadow there. This is just the kind of palette that I would reach for if I just know I want a great everyday sort of a look and it's all in one palette. This is what I would reach for. It's awesome. Show your most colorful palette. So I actually have quite a few colorful palettes. I don't play with color a ton. Sometimes I just feel like, you know, playing in color, so I will grab one of them. So I have several from BH Cosmetics, like the Take Me to Brazil is a beautiful, colorful palette. That one I honestly could have grabbed too. Should have grabbed that one too. So honorable mention to BH Cosmetics, Take Me to Brazil palette, but I grabbed this one as well. This is the September Rose Cosmetics Slush palette. This is beautiful. Such a gorgeous rainbow palette. The Take Me to Brazil palette is a very rainbow palette as well, but look at all this color. And the formula is amazing. I mean, if you are looking for color that works well, this is awesome. I mean, when you do a colorful eye look, you want it to be good and you want it to work well, because when you start stepping into these kind of colors, you want it to go well. Otherwise, things can get crazy. And this is an awesome formula, really great palette. Would definitely recommend it. Would also recommend the BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette. I do have a video on that. I think I also have one on Ibiza, or did I film that and never put that video up? I don't know, but I like them all. They are awesome. Show your smallest palette. Again, the little e.l.f. palettes, the bite-size eyeshadow palettes. So they are so tiny. It's part of the reason I love them so much, because they are perfect for travel. You can throw them in your purse. They don't take up a ton of room in your collection. Still a good amount of product. I mean, it's still going to take a while to go through that. And even if you do use it up, it's also the most affordable one in this video at $3, so you can just get another one. So I love everything about these. They're awesome. Show your biggest palette. So at first I was thinking it was the Glamlite Burger palette. I mean, this is just big this way, and then it also is domed up. So this is a big old palette, a lot of fun. Really like the Glamlite formula. They really have good shadows. But then I was looking around under my vanity, because that's where it has to live, because it's the only place it fits. I found my Glamlite Pizza palette. So this is definitely my biggest palette. I mean, look at the size of this thing. I was more thinking like geography size. I wasn't necessarily looking at number of shadows, but that's a good way of looking at this question too. But I had just been, I interpreted it as like size. So I grabbed this one, the pizza palette. I mean, look at this thing. It is just giant, but really pretty shadows in here. You do get a lot of shadows. Hang on, let me try to, if I can even get my hands on it, because it's so big here. Big old palette. There it is. So a lot of fun, colorful, but also neutrals too. There's quite a few neutrals in here as well. Really is a great formula to it, but it's big. You gotta have some place to store it because it is a huge palette. I think this question has to be my favorite of them all. So it is, show your palette with the best memory. So it would either be the original Naked palette because it just makes me think of OG YouTube days when I first started watching YouTube and then eventually started my channel. So just great memories. But then I also have this one, and this is for the same reason. This is the Sigma Paris palette. And again, I don't hang on to things very often that I'm not still using on my eyes, but I couldn't part with this one. Do y'all remember this palette? This was really kind of one of the first collabs that I can think of. They sent a lot of YouTubers to Paris, and they each got to pick out a color and design a color. So just really fun. Let me find, like, Versailles. So fun. X Sparkage. I mean, she's an OG YouTuber. And then Makeup by Tiffany D. She had a color. Lots of different influencers. Just really fun. Hers was Eiffel. So it just, I mean, I remember that. I remember how cool that was. I remember them showing their trip. Like, they had vlogs of their trip, and it was just really fun. Let me see if I can show you the inside here. So it came with 2 brushes and then shadows and then the cheek products. I mean, really a pretty palette, a little bit of color there, just fun. I mean, I remember enjoying playing with this palette, but I remember how exciting it was when they were going and designing their palette. And it was just, it was a little bit mysterious and you didn't know what they were designing, and it was just fun. Show a palette worth the hype. And I'm so glad that Jen said the Soft Glam palette for her answer for this question, because it made me think of mine. Because I was like, I don't know, I feel like honestly a lot of times things that have hype, I usually end up liking too. So the next question was very hard for me to think of something. But this one, for worth the hype, I kind of was thinking of lots of different options, but her answer helped me kind of zone in on mine. Mine would be the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. I remember when I first got this palette and started using it, oh my goodness, I just fell in love with this palette. I wore it all the time. I haven't worn it recently that I can think of. I need to. But I even wore this for my sister's wedding because it wears so well. That's what I love about this palette. The wear time is amazing and just such a good formula. A softer formula, but still really, really good. Just let me swatch quickly some of the colors for you. I mean, look at those. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's so good. And I like these colors. I really find that I grab for these colors a lot. These kind of rosy shades, pinky shades, neutral shades, something in that family. That's usually what I wear the most of. Great palette. So worth the hype. Show a palette not worth the hype. I was really trying to think hard through the different palettes that I personally have that were really hyped. And I honestly couldn't think of any that had been hyped that I didn't end up liking too. But I've said this before, I'm a makeup lover and especially an eyeshadow palette lover, so I usually end up liking most things. So I honestly couldn't think of something that was super hyped, but I would say maybe like not, well, I already kind of talked about it. Maybe not what I was hoping it would be, and not really, maybe not getting my money's worth or not getting like the use out of it that I thought I would. And it would be the Tom Ford Eye Color Quad. I think partly because I just picked the wrong color. So I would use this as my answer for this question too. Just really pricey, and I have not gotten the use out of it, but it is still special because Timothy got it for me. And I mean, I picked out the color, so it's not like he picked out the wrong color. I picked it out. I just got the wrong color. Show your favorite palette from a favorite brand. So, oh man, I have so many favorite brands for eyeshadow palettes. So many favorites. So this is really difficult to answer. So I totally cheated and picked out 3 different palettes. because I love these brands and I purchase from them often. So that's why I kind of thought I would get, you know, pick out something from each of them. So BH Cosmetics, love their palettes. I'm always eyeing their new releases and new collections and all the things. This is the Marvin Magnificent palette. Absolutely love it. I love that there are great matte shades up here, awesome neutrals, kind of like peachy neutrals. And then you have these amazing highlighters down here that you can use on your eyes or your cheeks. I mean, just, oh, it's so pretty. The formula is incredible, so I love that palette. And then y'all know my love for ColourPop. My camera's starting to cut me off, so that's when I know I need to wrap it up. So y'all also know my love for ColourPop palettes. I collect them. So two of my very favorites from them are the Making Mauves palette and the Flutter by palette. Making Mauves is a gorgeous mauve-y palette. I mean, these colors are just absolutely incredible. So light catching, and I love that they're kind of like taupey, purpley mauve. They're cool tones that are really done well. That's why I love that, because I wear a lot more warm tones than cool tones, but those are the type that I love, that just look so beautiful on the eyes, and the formula is great. And then the Flutter by palette, oh my gosh. Part of the reason I love this so much is the packaging. It is absolutely gorgeous, so pretty. Do I have shadow on me? Where did that even come from? Who knows? I'm like, is that another bruise? I have bruises here from, I think, applying my cuffs, putting on my cuffs, but somehow I got makeup. It wasn't a bruise, it was makeup. Who knows? Okay, Flutter by. Part of the reason I love it so much is because it is so beautiful in its packaging, but again, it's those really pretty kind of plummy, purpley sort of shades. Oh my goodness. Amazing formula. I love, love, love the ColourPop shadow formula. Really easy to work with, really blendable, so many different color options. Love them. This one was also difficult for me to answer. Show your most used palette. And I'm a palette junkie. I love eyeshadow palettes. I'm always trying out different palettes. So it's hard to answer this question, but if I had to think of something that I would bring with me on vacation and know that I would love it, it would work for every day, I could use it in different ways, love this palette, it would be the Tartelette in Bloom palette from Tarte. This is just an awesome neutral palette. I could have answered this for an everyday palette too. So it's kind of a toss-up between this one and the Too Faced one. This is just so beautiful. Great formula to these. I mean, you can't go wrong with this palette. It is an awesome everyday palette, and one that I absolutely would reach for every day, and I do. I mean, if I'm not, like, if I don't have a certain palette I'm trying out or something new I'm testing or just wanting to play with color or something, if I'm wanting just a great eyeshadow look in a formula that I like, blah, 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 this is one that I would grab. So I think this would be my everyday palette, or my most used palette. Okay guys, so those are all my answers. I feel like I took way too long on this video, but hopefully you really enjoyed it. Please hit a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below your picks for all these questions. I would love to hear your answers, so definitely let me know that down below. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I would love to have you on my channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!